Hey, babe, what do you think about Ebola?
What?
Why?
Hold on,
Josh
hold
Feuerstein?
on. There's a lot of fear about Ebola right now, and why not get information from an expert?
TJ, didn't you make a video about this?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. You were going to.
I was going to, but then I saw one that was even dumber, and I did it about that instead.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one where you can see his haircut.
Yeah.
Ebola.
Hey, you know, there was a line I wanted to put in that video that I don't think I said. Did I say that he looked like the offspring of Fred Durst and Kevin
Yes,
James with
you
Down syndrome?
Yeah,
You did.
Okay, I did. Okay, well, I'll say it again here. He does.
Well, my real thoughts?
My real thought? No, you're fake.
No,
The
please tell
American
us your
people should
fake
be
thoughts,
scared.
dude.
Not so much scared,
Scared of
because of the
Obama.
virus. You see, the one thing that happens, and it's like Americans have their heads in the sand, and honestly, I've always said that ignorance isn't bliss. Ignorance is
Okay, I want to
bondage
say
disguised.
something. Like, the first, 30 seconds to minute of his answer is actually pretty cogent. And I actually follow him for a while. It's like, yeah, he's saying things that make sense. But then we'll just jump in at the moment that he goes off the deep
Okay.
end.
Is bliss, and because we're more concerned with keeping up with the Kardashians than we are about keeping up with world news and
That's true. That is a
geopolitical
problem.
events. I mean, we
Right.
seriously have a stupid America.
Yeah.
And the one thing that you look back and realize, and of course hindsight is 2020, but the one thing that you realize is that after every great scare, there is a power grab by the government, which is really what they want. You see, people today don't understand that this is a government for and by the people. This is the original FUBU, for us and
FUBU.
This is the original FUBU.
For us, by
Such
us.
a weird statement to make.
Yeah.
by us. I
I'm
mean,
sure it
that's
works for whatever, circles he's running around in.
Yeah.
That's what the American government is. People think that the American government makes laws for the people, when in reality, the Constitution was the people making laws for the government. But the one thing that continually happens after every one of these great scares is that there's a great power grab. And with 9/11, there came the Patriot Act and all of these things where now they can listen in on our phone conversations. And I mean, if people really knew what was going on, in fact, mark my words, there's going to be a vaccine. And maybe people should be concerned about what's going to go in their bodies. Or maybe this is their opportunity to wait.
See, this is where it starts going
Yeah.
crazy.
There's
Yeah,
going to
that
be a
The
vaccine.
vaccine is going to be
Going to be a vaccine, and they're
put-
probably going to put some crazy shit in there.
Put
Yeah,
mercury
like
in your brain.
antibodies. Those crazy fucking antibodies that keep you from getting the
Oh, it's
disease.
going to be mercury in it, man.
Yeah.
An Ebola vaccine would be the biggest waste of fucking time anyway, unless the disease actually got some traction here in America, which is just not going to do because we don't fucking live the way they do in sub-Saharan fucking Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
the American currency situation, because maybe they're going to say, oh, money and currency spreads Ebola, and so we need to do away with it.
Not unless people are wiping their asses with it, or spitting all over it, or bleeding all over
Money
it.
and currency spreads Ebola. This is going to be the excuse of the government to do away with currency. That is batshit fucking insane.
You know what? I think he's got a point. You're wrong, TJ.
That is
Josh
bat
Feuerstein
shit
done cracked
fucking
the case.
crazy.
Who? I mean, like, how many?
Cracked the case, man.
How many people carry cash around with them anyway? I mean, like, isn't there?
Increasingly less and less people.
Yeah.
Oh, well, guess what? Now comes an opportunity for them to put chips in all of us, or we all have to have some sort of
Obey
identification
the
card. Now there's no
government.
more cash transactions.
Yeah, you do. You
now
have a
the
driver's
government has
license?
control over everything. I mean, really?
Does
The
Josh
American people
Feuerstein have a
wanted us-
driver's license? He's like, the government will have, cars to identify you. It's called the driver's license.
Yeah,
you
and license
already have
plates.
one. Yeah, license. You already have them.
No, but he's saying that there's going to be a card implanted in your skin and shit.
Mark of the beast.
Fucking
shit.
Christians have been saying that for so long. Do you remember that, TJ?
Yeah.
When we were kids.
I remember even when I was reading Long Hard Road Out of Hell, Manson's fucking autobiography. He was talking about when he was in Christian school, they held up like a barcode, and it had 666 on it. It's like, pretty soon everyone's gonna have one of these tattooed on their hands if they want to be able to buy anything. They've been flouting that line forever. For fucking ever, they've been spewing that bullshit.
so many lies. You know, take cancer research. Every time I go to a
Fucking
terminal
cancer
Which you know nothing
research.
about.
at a grocery store or something, everyone's asking me if I want to donate money to cancer research. Why would I waste my money when the reality is cancer's never going to get cured? Why?
Wow.
Because it makes too much money.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Cancer
we-
makes too much money.
Why should we fund cancer research? Waste your time.
The reality is, it's never going to be cured because it just makes too much money.
It's billions and billions
I mean-
and billions of dollars every single year, and we really think that America is not run.
He's saying it's better to
If-
for a company to treat a disease rather than cure it. That's obviously what he's saying.
Right,
I mean, it's true to some
that
extent.
I mean, that's
obviously.
there's some truth to that, but like, I mean, he's just ignoring like he basically you would have to believe that no fucking buddy involved in cancer research is the least bit ethical at all.
Yeah, they're just like time for more money.
Like every scientist working on that is just like, even if I find a cure, I'm just gonna sell it to the billionaires, and you know they'll just keep it for themselves and fucking make a derivative pill form for the peasants. But I mean, even if they did come up with a cure for cancer and they like we're gonna keep this from the general population, presumably they could use that as a basis to give people better treatments for cancer, so that would still be a better fucking situation. I mean, is he going to ignore that we actually have made tremendous strides in fucking cancer research and the death rates of many cancers that used to be like nearly fatal to everyone no longer are?
He's going to ignore that because that probably hasn't happened to him or anyone that he's close to.
Yeah, let's see if he fucking talks that shit if fucking somebody he loves gets cancer or his fucking fat,
Yeah.
stupid ass
waste
gets
your
it.
money. It's like, no, it's actually not.
When he fucking is on his deathbed and he's fucking lost all that fucking titty meat, I'm going to fucking show him this video of himself right before he dies.
Waste your money.
It's a waste of money.
Waste of money. Why bother researching any disease? You're gonna die anyways.
Hashtag titty meat. Trending worldwide.
#1 trend worldwide.
Hashtag titty meat.
Hashtag Ben Cena.
Like corporate greed. People talk about electric cars and conservation. Dude, that stuff's never going to happen. Why?
It already has
Because it
happened.
makes too much money. There's tons of technology out there for
Scotty,
electric
this is
cars
a
and all
perfect
that
moment
stuff
for
right
you
now.
to
But guess
interject,
what?
dude.
Okay, have you heard of Tesla? Have you heard of the fucking Toyota Prius? Have you heard of countries like Germany who are building so many solar panels? It's ridiculous. They're adding so much capacity in so many different countries. China. I mean, what is it like? Norway or Sweden like recycles all of their garbage now?
It's funny that because he started this video
And he's
off,
saying like this is impossible. It's like it's already happening, dude.
but he started this video off saying like no one pays attention to world events. They only pay attention to keeping up with the Kardashians.
Sure, some vapid ass people do that.
I know, but like obviously he's one of them because he seems totally oblivious to the strides made in cancer research. He seems totally oblivious to the strides made towards green energy. It's like he just ignores the progress that has actually happened and says like it ain't never gonna happen. It's like, bitch, it is happening, you
Change
stupid fuck.
is incremental. It's not like tomorrow. It's like, you know what, we're all going to go back to fucking, the horse and buggy. That's not how it fucking works. We have a modern society. We want to keep having a modern society. We know we have to change.
I could just see Josh Feuerstein in like 1905, like
The light bulb is evil.
the horseless carriage ain't going nowhere. Everyone knows that ain't gonna happen. Too much money in buggy sales.
Oh, what about the polio vaccine? That was given away for free.
But vaccines are evil. They were probably
Yeah.
poisoning those kids.
Yeah.
Government probably gave them polio to begin with.
Yeah, and it was useless. We see all these people with polio nowadays.
Yeah, so many people, suffering from
Polio everywhere. Rampant polio.
Measles.
Yeah,
The
smallpox.
government, because they're
Smallpox
backed
everywhere.
by big corporations, are going to smack it down in legislation. I mean, even Tesla. Tesla has, a great product, but guess what? Or Toyota's hybrids. I mean, they all come under
Okay.
fire in these regulations, and they don't even want Teslas to be sold at dealerships. Why? Well, because it's going to compete with the gas money, and that's really what people want. So, anyways, I just wish people would stop keeping up with the Kardashians and start keeping up with world news. Stop watching World Star and watch the world news. Because
So
if
Scotty,
not,
I guess you
America's
did address
slowly
the
gonna become
Tesla and
enslaved.
Toyota thing.
Okay, obviously people who have a vested interest are going to oppose it. I mean, that's anything with change. I mean, obviously the entrenched forces or group in society, it's like, we make this. Now we've made something that's better than that, or, or we'll make, or potentially make this obsolete or challenge that. Obviously they're going to fight against that. And what they're fighting against, he's talking about, is like dealerships have said, okay, unless Tesla wants to sell through us, they shouldn't be allowed to sell in our state. But pretty much Tesla has won every sort of thing, even in Republican states, even in red states, like that we should have a right to sell us. It's a free market, right? So I mean, they're going to be able to sell them. And I mean, obviously, right now, a Tesla, one of the cars they sell, is out of the reach of most people. But that's always the case with new technologies. You know, most people don't go out and buy the brand new TV that's like, this is the latest and greatest OLED TV. You know, it's $25,000. Most people obviously are not shelling out for that. But over time, it becomes cheaper. You know, and it's the same
Just
thing.
like X-rays.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, like, everything, I mean, these things are very incremental. It's not going to suddenly happen where, okay, we have this brand new technology that's really expensive, you know, like you know, you're talking about the Tesla, it's like, you know, the battery capacity of these vehicles, you know, how fast you can recharge them. You know, with electric cars, something also called range anxiety, where you're always going, am I going to run out of, you know, energy?
Right.
So, I mean, these are all problems that have to be addressed if you're talking about just electric cars. But I mean, does that mean we should simply just dismiss them all and say, oh, well, we shouldn't even bother with that because there's problems with it? I mean, there's always going to be a problem with new technology or anything, whether it's the cost or the production or whatever.
Yeah.
I think what Scotty's saying here is he doesn't like Mexicans.
Before
Okay.
we go to break here, just in case, well, actually, there's a ton of people watching now that weren't watching earlier when we said this, but we started the Drunken Peasants Patreon. It's patreon.com/Drunken Peasants. Or, no, actually. It's patreon.com/DP.
Which can also be double penetration.
Yes.
So yeah.
Easy to remember. Patreon.com/DP.
Please become our patron because Ben needs a lot of beer. He told us, he's like, guys, I need a lot of beer. I don't care if I have a roof over my head. As long as I got that Belgian beer, I'm good. We're like, all right.
I could live in a fucking alleyway as long as I could fill it with my beer.